Da 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 da. Fuck!
Hello, people! Hello, friends! Hello, people that aren't friends! Welcome back, or to, the Mediocre Company podcast. If this is your first time, I'm sorry. I think you got that one right.
They can't see me. You're talking to you.
Yeah.
They don't know what I'm doing.
I know. Clayton is just making gibberish sign language to nothing, and he actually nailed it perfectly from the knowledge I have of sign language. So, if you're deaf, I apologize for Clayton's offensiveness in that sign language that you were listening to.
Because it's a podcast.
Thank you.
Great.
That was good. I like that.
It was not that funny.
And the best
but
part is we can't even offend deaf people.
I know!
Because they can't. Okay, we should probably
I
stop.
think this episode we should just pick only on deaf people.
Just every, 5 minutes throw in a deaf chirp.
Yeah. That they won't... Yeah,
They
okay.
won't, they won't get.
Wouldn't just talking cover that?
Oh, gotcha.
True.
That was insane. It's a
I
wild ride
apologize.
of emotions there. All right, moving
So,
on.
we're going to get this one speeding out of the way. We're going to cut the useless ramble in half and only go for a minute and so instead of 3 minutes and so.
Cut the shit, Morty.
I got 5 things of news this time, so I'm prepared.
Oh.
Yeah. First thing, we got a new Star Wars trilogy and possibly a new Star Wars show coming out sometime soon.
Wait, trilogy?
Yeah, the director of...
Oh, Rian Johnson.
Rian-
Yeah.
yeah.
It was gonna be it wasn't gonna be a Skywalker trilogy.
Yeah,
It was gonna be
it-
something else, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Right. Okay, cool.
Thoughts, opinions, feelings.
I love
general
Star Wars. I
emotions?
love everything Star Wars does, and I can't wait for more Star Wars. I love Star Wars.
Clayton isn't biased at all. Andrew?
So now, when they say it's not going to be another Skywalker trilogy, depending on the origins of Rey and the gang, does that mean it's not going to feature them either?
It might.
I assume Kylo Ren is gonna be around the area by the end of that, anyways, and he's a Skywalker. So, and I think when he says no Skywalker trilogy, or when that's said, it means away from
Yeah.
the trilogy we have going with all the people who've come into it this far. I think it'll be separate Star Wars stories across the universe. That's my interpretation, at least.
So, fuck. What are words?
That's interesting news.
Fuck. I'm
so
reading.
recently, fuck.
I had a small aneurysm or something because I just tried to read the sentence and the words didn't escape my face. I'm gonna give that one another shot. So I read an article that mentioned possible 4 Marvel shows like MCU that would come to the Disney's new streaming service.
Oh, well, sounds about right. I mean, they might as well capitalize on it.
New Warriors.
Oh, those are the... Okay, cool.
Yep. Moon Knight.
Yes!
Right?
Fuck yeah.
White Tiger.
Don't know who that is.
She is a person, and I did a bit of research, but
Really?
I immediately forgot because this was a long time ago. And Darkhawk, which was another someone I did a bit of research on that I should have written down, but I didn't, and I forget. But
I know who aren't the New Warriors classically one of the biggest faults for Civil War in the comics?
Yeah, they were.
They're the ones who blow up the middle school.
Yep. Well,
whatever.
technically they didn't blow up the middle school, but
They were chasing a villain who blew up the middle
Yes.
school, and 2 of them died. Penance came out of that. It was fun. Fun time.
Yeah. Now, Andrew.
Do you think they're gonna show that?
No.
Aw,
I think it'll probably not do that.
that's fun.
Yeah, but that leads into Civil War. We've already had a Civil War.
Civil War 2. It's in the comics too.
Fair enough. There was a second Civil War. I'm
And
okay
in
with
this
that.
new Civil War, we can have a Thor clone and Daryl.
Fucking, I hope for nothing but a Daryl and a Daryl clone. Just fucking throwing everyone off.
That'd be so weird.
Two
Can
Daryls.
you imagine a Marvel movie, Civil War 2, with 2 Daryls who wasn't even in the first Civil War?
I mean, they have Captain
Can you
Marvel.
Can you imagine one MCU movie with a single Daryl?
Yes.
Because that would be great.
It'd be my favorite one so far.
It would be, yeah. I'm expecting that as soon as Stan Lee dies, we're gonna stop getting Stan Lee cameos and just get random Daryls popping up in the background.
Oh my god.
Just in the middle of Guardians of the Galaxy, just a Daryl walks by.
Actually, you know what? Random question. When Stan Lee passes away, do you think they're gonna CGI him
Yes.
like Leia into all the movies?
I do, yeah.
You don't think they're gonna let him rest?
I don't.
I think they have, probably already have the rights to his likeness because he's kind of greedy. He's already got a bunch banked up. I would be willing to bet a lot of money that I don't have that they're just
He's
gonna
already
CGI
filmed
him.
his cameos for the next 8 movies
Yeah,
that they have
exactly.
planned anyways, because Marvel's fucking insane when it comes to planning.
Yeah.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay. My personal favorite piece of news that I found
Oh, I
that
know this is going.
doesn't... Do you?
Or do I? Unless
No,
you're
you
gonna
don't.
say, okay,
No.
interesting.
No. That doesn't involve a hat. So...
Is there a hat in
No.
in the next ones?
No, there isn't.
Well, then why would you say that?
Because I just like to get Andrew excited and knock him down.
That's depressing.
So, we're gonna have... I say we, I don't watch the show, but a Supernatural Scooby-Doo crossover.
Really?
Yeah. Animated.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, I did watch some of Supernatural. I think I stopped in season 7 or 8.
Mm-hmm.
Tonally, where I stopped, I know there's like another 400 seasons afterwards because Supernatural never stops,
Yeah.
but last time I watched, tonally, Scooby-Doo did not fit Supernatural at all. So it'll be interesting to see if I ever find out how they progress. Probably not, because I'm never going to pick the show up again, I don't think, but crossed over with Scooby-Doo. That'd be an interesting little thing to gander into. Maybe I'll just watch that one episode of Supernatural Scooby-Doo, whichever one it airs on. Or will it be a
It's
crossover like one in
animated.
each?
But, I don't know.
I don't know. Oh! Okay, never mind. Sorry, something else. Later. A little later.
Okay, good talk. Andrew, did you watch Supernatural?
No, I haven't. It's one of those things that like never really noticed before, and then it's on the CW, right?
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, so I started seeing like all the advertisements and stuff naturally, just watching like the Arrowverse. But
Yeah.
it's one of those things that just doesn't really tickle my fancy, and also it's like incredibly long, so there's zero hope of me ever catching up with that.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, honestly, the first couple seasons are really good.
Yeah.
By the time I stopped watching it, I stopped watching not because I was too busy, because I lost interest.
Yeah,
like
fair.
I probably could have caught up, because back in first year I didn't do any homework anyways. I
anything, really.
I literally stopped watching because it just got to the
Yeah.
point where I just didn't really want to watch anymore, because they just kept doing the same thing over and over again. Like, once you defeat Satan, like, where do you go from there? I mean, I know where they went from there, but it was dumb, and I really didn't like it that much, because, you know, the fuck eclipses Satan. So, I don't know, whatever. If you're ever interested, I watched, like, the first, I think, maybe 6 seasons, 5 or 6 seasons are good, and then after they defeat Satan, it just drops off hard, and I would stop watching. I did stop watching, so.
How many seasons are
I
there?
think they're on their 14th or 15th.
Jesus.
Yeah,
And 22 episode seasons?
something like that, yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, I didn't know this show existed until they were released into their 8th or 9th season, so, like, there was no chance of me ever watching it from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know it was a thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it started when we were 6.
I guess so, yeah, it started when we were pretty freaking young, and I definitely was not ready for that kind of content back then.
Nope.
I was a pussy until at least, like, 16.
Yep.
It's on season 13.
Oh,
Wow.
13? Oh, I thought they were
Yeah,
14 at
fuck.
least. But yeah, still old as fuck.
Well, the other piece of news I found, I read an article, and I actually read the whole article this time because it involved Lord of the Rings.
Sounds right.
But the show isn't going to be a rehash of the movies. So
Thank God.
I would love... They mentioned the word Silmarillion, which I think would be fun, and probably the best way to do it would be a show, because it's a couple different stories here and there and follows different characters. So
Mhm.
I would love to see a Silmarillion storyline. It would be fucked and super dark.
Unless they changed it. Hopefully they don't.
Hopefully they don't, because I
Because
mean,
if they lightened up for, like, something like that, that'd be kind of dumb.
yeah.
What's like the overall premise
Oh,
of
boy.
that?
Okay, so it starts off with the elves in the Undying Lands across the sea. I think that's what they're called.
Wait, can you summarize this quickly, or should we just save this for another episode?
I can summarize this pretty quickly.
Okay, cool.
They have this big tree. There are these gods throughout it.
Should we spoiler alert?
I guess. Spoiler alert for the Silmarillion if you're not through it or even give a shit. They have this big light tree that gets eaten by the giant spider lady named Ungoliant. The elves get blamed. They come across to Middle-earth. They live out there. They fight with men. They kill each other. There's dwarves that die. A bunch of death and stuff. Sauron's boss comes across, starts doing a bunch of evil things. He fucks a bunch of shit up. He ends up dying somehow. He doesn't actually end up dying. They end up capturing him, and he's still alive, and then Sauron's still kind of left over. That was super poorly summarized and probably not even half correct, because a lot of shit happens. I read it a long time ago, and the book itself is a fucking textbook. he goes on for at least 3 pages describing the sun and the moon setting, and I didn't realize that till I was about a page and a half through that little section. Like, fuck, man, that was a hard read.
Tolkien's an interesting guy.
Up until I read the Silmarillion, I thought he was a genius. After I read the Silmarillion, he's insane. He's fucking nuts.
Wasn't he in the war?
Yes.
War will do that to people.
Yes. Yes, it would.
But yeah, so that'll be interesting. Hopefully it's good, because I love Lord of the Rings, and you love Lord of the Rings more.
And
Andrew, he likes Lord of the Rings from a
casual
watcher. Yeah. But I don't know.
Yeah, I stated this last podcast that we talked about it. I just would like more live action like content in the universe of not necessarily dealing with stuff that we've already seen, because I haven't read the books, and it's a very daunting task that I probably won't complete until I'm a functioning adult. So actually seeing it played out, I'm very interested in, and I will give it the watch.
One of the cool things that could happen, is we might be able to get, what's her name, Cate Blanchett back if they have a big enough budget to play Galadriel.
Very cool.
Because Galadriel's been around since that age. Elrond was technically around since that age because
Isn't he a little bit younger because he was born later?
He was born a man, actually.
Yeah, half elf.
That's why his name is half elven.
Half elven.
Yeah, so I doubt we'll get Hugo Weaving back.
Probably not.
I say we as in like I'm part of it, but I feel invested as a
You are spiritually part of it.
I'd like to think so, but I mean, I feel like Cate Blanchett would come back because she's good at what she does. They get a good enough budget to do it. They could hire good actors.
Was she a main character or just around?
She just kind of popped up here and there. She probably did a few things. It was a long time ago, so I really don't remember. But
okay, would this have been before Gandalf's time?
Gandalf came around that time-ish. Is
this the first age?
Involved, or?
He wasn't necessarily involved, no. And he actually wasn't called Gandalf at the time, so they could call him someone else, cast it as someone else, and then
spoiler reveals he's Gandalf
it's
later
been
in
Gandalf
life.
because
He puts on the gray coat, and you're like, oh my god, he's gray, and his beard is gray, he's all gray, he's Gandalf the Grey.
Another thing that they could do instead of the Silmarillion, they could do the wizard stuff.
That's true.
Because the blue wizards that we never talk about, them coming over, blah blah blah. I'll move on because I could talk about Lord of the Rings forever.
True. I mean, I don't know. As closing remarks, I think it has potential to be really cool, and hopefully it is.
Me too.
But we're probably gonna have to buy Amazon Prime for at least like a couple seasons.
Probably.
Or like a month at a time or something like that for a couple years.
Well, did you guys see that new Deadpool trailer? Bob Ross.
I'm not gonna call it a trailer. I'm gonna call it a teaser. That's not a trailer.
That's so
I'm
funny.
not even gonna call it a teaser. I'm just gonna say content.
Yeah.
Deadpool 2 content. That's a good way to put it.
That is a good way.
That was weird.
God damn it.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay. I have no thoughts. I just thought it was fun.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for their marketing tour because
Me too.
last time it was really fun and they did a lot of clever things, and I'm looking forward to seeing the weird shit that they do this time.
Yep.
Yeah. The more rain they give Ryan Reynolds, the better it'll be.
Yeah. Excuse me.
You're on top of your game today, boy.
Thank you.
Massively
proud. Another thing, Jude Law was cast as Dumbledore in Two Fantastic Two Beasts.
Is that what you're talking about in that thing, the group chat, the Comic-Con one? I saw a picture of Jude Law and I completely ignored the rest of the conversation.
I don't pay attention to that half the time.
Fair enough. Okay, cool. I mean, I don't really care. I'm not a huge Harry Potter guy, and I haven't seen Fantastic Beast 1, so Two Fantastic Two Beasts is...
Look, I found them.
Yeah, it's not something I'll probably watch for at least another couple months until my girlfriend makes me so.
Yeah, that's fair. And then...
Now, from what I heard, it's going to be called The Crimes of Grindelwald, and I think that's a really stupid title.
I like my possible title better, but...
Fantastic Beasts and Look, We Found Them.
Two Beasts.
Two Fantastic Two Beasts. Look, we found them.
Look, we found them. Fucking cry. And the first time he made that joke, I cried for probably 20 minutes.
Yeah, it really wasn't that funny, but Clayton was done.
I was done.
And then my last piece of news is that James Franco was cast as Madrox in Multiple Man movie.
As who?
Madrox in the Multiple Man movie.
There's
They're making a Multiple Man movie, and there's just a lot of M's in that sentence.
Is that Marvel?
It'll be Fox.
X-Men, yeah.
X-Men stuff. Multiple Man.
I assume he duplicates himself in some way.
nailed it.
Is it physical duplicates or is it like holographic ones?
No, real ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do they have a hive mind or are they all separate things?
I could not tell you.
Uh,
Shit.
fuck.
Andrew shit fucked out, and we fucked. We're gonna
Cut this probably?
No, probably
maybe?
not. 'Cause
Alright,
it seems
well,
like a lot of work. But
we were talking about multiple right? Physical projections. Oh, I asked if they have a hive mind.
yeah, I don't believe so. I'm pretty sure they all kind of have their own sort of individual stuff, and he kind of like sends them out as scouts, sort of thing. I think I wouldn't quote me on that. I would not bet your life on.
Do the duplicates have a half-life decay of a high rate?
Like,
what's to say there's not 2,000 James Francos walking around having their own separate lives if they don't have a hive mind?
Mate, I really couldn't tell you.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I got nothing for you. That's the last piece of news I had. Did you lovely gents find anything interesting around?
I have a question that may be news if you don't know, or I might be wrong.
Okay.
But, when I was looking on Facebook today, as I am one to do, came across a trailer for the CW crossover episode. I didn't watch it because I'm not up to date in the CW.
Right.
However, the tagline, before I realized what it was, said the two-night crossover, and in the beginning of the trailer only showed the Flash and Arrow intros. Is our crossover this year only on Flash and Arrow?
No.
Are you
No,
sure
it's everything's on 2 nights. So it's Supergirl and I think Arrow Monday,
Oh,
and
okay.
then Legends and Flash Tuesday.
Cool.
So it's 2 nights, 4 episodes.
Alright.
So, is Arrow just gonna be on Monday instead of Thursday for a week? Like,
Yeah,
how are they
they're
gonna?
switching it up.
That's weird.
I mean, it probably makes it easier for them with Flash and Legends being back-to-back this year. Because I don't think they were last year, were they?
They were no. There's 4 different days. Or was it 4 different?
I thought it
days?
was 4 different days.
I'm pretty sure there's 4
No,
different days.
they were together last
They
year.
were? Alright, well.
Yeah, it was Supergirl, Flash, Legends, then Arrow on Wednesday. So it was like the first 3 days of the week.
I could have
Okay.
swore Legends was on Thursday at least 1 year.
I think it was its first year.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe that was it.
See,
Yeah, I
didn't watch
think everything
Legends.
was on different days. The first year there was 4,
Right.
and then people were complaining that it was too many nights of commitment.
I mean, I guess.
Does not every single human alive just PVR shit by now?
Probably not. My parents don't.
Really?
Yeah, they don't.
How do they live without a PVR?
They watch the news and sports.
That's boring.
Yep.
I PVR sports. My parents PVR sports. And then, not the news, because fuck that.
On the subject of the CW, when does Black Lightning come out?
Oh boy, is it next year? Like, starting basically half a season starting in next year?
Maybe?
I thought that was the last thing we heard, but I could be wrong.
I think so. I was just kind of maybe getting a
Little
confirmation. Yeah. Andrew, thoughts?
I'm not too sure.
Okay.
I hope we don't have 5 shows in 1 week, but we're most likely
We're
going
probably
to.
going to. I think the last I heard, or maybe I didn't even hear it, maybe my mind's making it up, whatever. I think they were going to start it as like a half season starting in the winter portion of the fall-winter semester
Yeah, that's fair.
of TV. So, I don't know. But we'll see when it comes around. I'm sure Facebook will tell us it's coming, so.
Oh,
Or
shit.
Twitter, whatever you use for your feeds. What's up?
Hi, sitting next to me is just Clayton. Talking online is he who has not seen Rick and Morty, Andrew, who actually started watching Rick and
change
Morty.
that one, Rick.
Well, I'm not gonna fucking do that, Andrew. You gotta beat me first. And then Clayton?
2 more episodes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. It's, Eric better than Clayton and Andrew Wire, right?
Correct. Now that we've gotten to know each other, now we can continue talking about things, because I completely forgot about that.
See, I noticed that and didn't say anything, because I forgot 2 seconds later.
Well, yeah, it's fair.
Anyways, did we have any more? Oh, I'm trying to think if I had any news.
I had no more news. Andrew usually has a few things that he likes to bring if he wanted to.
I actually don't.
Well.
Oh, I was going to talk a little bit about Battlefront 2.
Yeah,
couple
sure.
minutes. So, I got Battlefront 2. Actually, I got it on Tuesday last week because I had
Yeah.
the deluxe edition because I...
Are you as pissed off as the rest of the world?
No, and I'm going to explain why in about a second.
Okay.
I'm going to give in brief, very brief, because we have other things to talk about that are more important, namely Justice League.
Not namely. It is.
That's what I said.
Prove it.
Okay. Anyways, Battlefront 2 story. I finished it in 2 days because I have nothing better to do and don't need to study for my midterms. And by don't need to, I mean I did, but I don't care.
You still beat everyone in the house. You're a fucking prick.
You don't know that. That was a different midterm.
No, it wasn't.
What are you talking about?
The one you had on Thursday.
You don't. We haven't got the marks back yet.
Is that not what you guys were looking at?
No, we have 2 HKs. That was anatomy.
Fucking
Did I beat everyone else in the house?
I think so. That's what I thought you said. It's not important.
Anyway, yeah. Sorry. The story was really cool. It went through the story. I'm sure anyone who's watched the trailer knows it went through the tale of the Empire agent after the fall of the Empire after Return of the Jedi. It was awesome. I really enjoyed the story. Had a few couple fun like little bits, like where one section you play as a droid, and then there's shooting. It's fun. It's a cool little story too. It didn't leave me bored. That's why I finished it in 2 days. Not overly long though. Like I would say 10 hours or probably even less if you really just sit down and aren't trash at video games. The game itself really fun. Like it a lot. It's like the last one, but just ever so slightly better because it has more content. Now, one big thing, obviously, I'm sure if you are interested in this whatsoever and are skipping this section of the podcast, you already know that they locked about half the heroes in the game starting off, and you have to unlock them through in-game shit, which is stupid because I didn't expect to buy a Star Wars game and not be able to play Darth Vader. But they're only unlocked online. And everyone who's complaining about needing like 40 hours to unlock a hero is either really bad at the game or just straight up dumb because I unlocked 2 heroes in less than 10 hours, so I don't know what the fuck they're doing with the time, but it's not playing the game. I don't think it was a smart idea to do, but it's not as big a deal everyone's making out. They disabled microtransactions in the game because so many people complained. I don't know if you knew that or anyone knew that. So, I mean, I guess they're trying to make their mistake, or they're just playing the long game. Either one. I mean, I can't blame them for a good business tactic. And, because gamers are dumb. Every gamer complains about microtransactions, and then half of them go and buy microtransactions, which means they're going to make more microtransactions. We're half at fault for the problem.
Oh, 100%.
They wouldn't do it if no one bought it. So the fact that they still do it means people still buy it, which means we're literally half of the issue. So maybe get over yourselves for a minute, and don't be dumb. But other than that, Battlefront 2 was fun. I'd give it a solid, story. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Game and over. Or actually, I think I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10 for just the campaign. Game as a whole entire piece, I'm going to give it 7.5 out of 10 just for, some of the bugs starting out. And then we'll see how that goes on when it comes to when I have the game a bit longer, if it's, it doesn't get boring too soon. But yeah, Battlefront 2, my friends, I would look into buying it if you enjoy Star Wars and shooters.
Cool.
Now, is there an offline split screen for, you and a pal?
Yep, there is. And there's a couple more options for it in this game than there was in the last game as well.
Okay. Are you familiar with Battlefront 2 for the PS2?
Oh boy, I'm familiar with every single Battlefront they've ever made.
That's Andrew's shit.
Are there any particular modes that are similar to that in this new game? Specifically, I'm looking for Conquest, when you could do Sith vs. Jedi with a friend. Or Assault, maybe, I think it was.
I remember there was the one where you just capture the command points, and there was a lot of great quotes capturing command points.
Well, the one that's on Mos Eisley, and you could play as any of the heroes or any of the bad guys.
Yeah, there's one that's similar. There's a heroes versus villains game mode. Basically, what it entails is there's good and bad guys. You all play as heroes, and then what it does is it goes round based, and every single round, one of the heroes at random on the team is designated as the target. The first team to kill the other team's target wins. It's not exactly the same. It's not just a flat out team deathmatch, but it's essentially a team deathmatch, and it's fun. I've played a couple rounds of it. I wrecked with Han Solo, which I wasn't expecting.
But Andrew's main question is, could we play that here, not online?
Oh,
or is
not
that
online? Honestly, I don't know. I haven't explored the game enough to find out yet.
Fair enough.
I've played it mostly by myself up to here, so that's a good question. I'll get back to you when I know more.
Okay.
Well, on that, do we want to talk about the League of Justice?
Yes, actually, go back for a second. There is a mode that's like that. Yeah, me and Eric did it. I forgot about that. We did heroes.
Yeah, we did. You're right.
I don't know if you can have it with a team though.
Yeah, it was just you.
Me and Eric did do hero 1v1s where you can just play as heroes and you can go to any map and fight with whoever hero you want. I don't know if you can do a team of heroes, though. That I'll have to explore more. Anyways, okay. Now moving on to the topic of this week. That was actually a long bout of news. So.
Yeah. Excuse me.
You're excused.
Thank you. So, full and nothing but spoilers from this point on for Justice League, because we don't care enough and no one listens enough to actually call some of these spoilers. Spoilers for Justice League! Spoilers! All the spoilers! Spoilers!
You're about to get more spoiled than my girlfriend. And her family, not by me. Let's go.
Okay. Andrew?
I'm not gonna do the plot.
Wait,
I think Clayton
Andrew?
deserves this.
Fuck! You just... Damn it, Andrew! You ruined me! You ruined it!
I think he was gonna juke you out. What were you? Just say it. Go. I want to hear what you're gonna say.
I was gonna ask you to ask Clayton to tell it. You bloody fucked me!
Hey, Clayton, buddy.
Yeah,
Can you do the thing?
I can. Yes, Julie, I can do the thing. Okay, so
man.
you're a loser. Justice League, the movie of all leagues that involve justice. So we start off our beautiful movie with our Batman looking brooding as ever.
You can tell immediately how Clayton feels about it.
I love Batman. He's starts off basically kind of a continuation from Batman vs Superman. When Batman's looking into alien threats, is able to lure a parademon, find it, is hot on the trail of Steppenwolf and his army as he's trying to figure out what the fuck they're doing, what they're looking for, why they're here. Meanwhile, I think nothing overly important happens till we get to Themyscira.
Yeah, I think so.
Batman's on his detective trail, and then all of a sudden one of the mother boxes opens up in Themyscira, and Steppenwolf comes in, proceeds to murder a bunch of Amazons and
Fuck ton of them.
take the mother box and just fucking leave.
Yep.
So therein, Hippolyta decides that she should probably notify Diana, Wonder Woman, our resident hottie, that alien invasion is coming. So basically, Wonder Woman goes to Batman, fills him in with some of the ancient information about the war that happened 14,000 gazillion years ago between the Atlanteans, Amazonians, and associated people, including a Green Lantern.
That was awesome.
First Steppenwolf and his army of parademons, which was the greatest thing ever. I was not expecting a Green Lantern to show up, and I was so pumped. That's when Batman decides he needs to assemble this team right now. Right this second.
Fucking minute.
Right this goddamn minute. I think he goes to Aquaman first.
He does.
Goes to wherever the hell Aquaman is, tries to convince him to come. Aquaman's like, you dress as a bat, you're silly. He goes back into the water and says, no. Then he goes to Flash. Flash is like, yeah, I'll join. Because he has no friends. And he wants friends. Cyborg is in his own little journey. He's kind of pissed off at his dad for turning him into Cyborg, but I'm sure we'll get more into that in the Cyborg movie.
Probably.
He also accidentally hacks Wayne Manor.
Yep.
Because his suit is weird.
Yep. Suit.
His body is weird. His cyborg part's weird, and he figures out that Batman is Bruce Wayne, and he basically sees all the Justice League files before they even find him because he's cyborg.
Yeah.
So he actually stalks Bruce and Diana for a bit. When Bruce goes to track down Barry, who's the Flash, if you don't know who Barry Allen is, you need to go back and watch the last
every plot point.
18 episodes. I'm going through it, damn it.
Okay.
I'm passionate about this.
I know.
Diana goes to Cyborg, and he also says no. It's looking very good at this point. Then they do things, and Cyborg comes in. They got to save a bunch of people. The mother box from Atlantis gets taken, which was cool. And then
you
got to see Mira, and apparently Willem Dafoe, even though I didn't pick him out because I wasn't looking for it enough. I need to go see the movie again. Steppenwolf has 2 of the boxes, and then he goes and he starts trying to interrogate people to find the third one. Where was the third one?
Fuck.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
I don't know. They fight. It's cool. He ends up finding the third one at one point. So Batman's like, "Yo, we should wake up Superman," and then
they do.
Most people are like, "That's dumb," and Batman's like, "I don't really care. We're doing it anyways." So they wake up Superman with the mother box. They had it there.
Yeah, you're right.
So they use the mother box, the Kryptonian chamber, get Superman. He's all angry, beats the crap out of the Justice League, almost kills Batman. Then Lois takes him. They talk. Steppenwolf then takes the mother box, and then he's gonna put them together and make the army and the unity and gonna do it. Never mind. That was a spoiler for another show. So yeah, he's gonna turn the world into all parademons and conquer everything, and it's gonna be cool. And then they go to fight him, and then Superman decides to join because Lois talks him into it, and it's cool. And there's a big fight, and it's cool, and I love it. I loved every second of it. It was so cool. And then they beat Steppenwolf, and they take the mother boxes out, and it's cool. I loved it.
So Clayton wasn't a huge fan. He thought it could be done better. Andrew, what do you think? Off the top, like.
I thought it was very okay. Definitely the best DC movie, or second best DC movie. Sorry.
Yeah.
It didn't blow me away.
And why?
I have a couple gripes with it that it'll come up naturally in conversation, but like it definitely had a couple like cool moments, but nothing that was like this movie's amazing. Like it was cool seeing people come together, but a lot of the problems from past DC movies came up in this one. The plot kind of made as much sense as was convenient to it. The dialogue wasn't the greatest in certain parts. It was very all over the place. And Superman's face looked fucking weird whenever you could tell that they did the reshoots because of that fucking mustache.
You could notice some mustache problems.
Especially in that opening fucking scene that was like the interview.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that didn't look like Henry Cavill.
That was probably the one that I thought was the weirdest. Other than that, nothing jumped out at me as being really fucking weird.
Yeah,
I
also,
was going on the
Steppenwolf was
That wasn't.
irrelevant. Like,
So-
he just served to unite the league, I guess. And also, he looked like garbage.
I didn't mind the CGI. The one thing I found about DC's villains so far is they're all gray. They're all just gray.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really care that much, but like, Doomsday was a big gray guy. Ares probably wasn't gray, but it was a very dark battle scene, so you couldn't really see much. Steppenwolf was definitely gray, and Enchantress was like grayish,
She's green.
greenish,
Green and gray.
grayish.
Green, black, gray.
I always forget that movie's in the universe. So I really like.
I just did, yeah. I was thinking.
I think Zod's suit was kind of gray.
I mean, her Enchantress's friend was like orange. He was cool, and then he died.
Yeah, he didn't last long.
No, fire guy, pirate devil. What's his name? I don't remember. Anyway, not important. Suicide Squad.
El Diablo.
That's the run. Spanish Devil.
I had the most fun with the whole setup of their universe. I enjoyed the movie as a whole. Like you said, definitely the best of the DC universe. I like the fact that
Other than Wonder Woman?
um
You liked it better than Wonder Woman?
I don't think I did. No,
Okay.
Wonder Woman trumps it. Yeah, thinking about it now, Wonder Woman then Justice League.
Clayton, how do you feel about that?
It's my favorite one so far.
Justice League?
Yeah,
Yeah, I could have bet
Okay.
tons of money on that one.
it had everything I was looking for.
Batman.
And Wonder Woman, and Flash, and Superman,
So do you guys want to go through
and I guess
some
Cyborg
characters?
was there. Sure.
So, how did you feel about Batman this time after we saw him last in BVS? And we'll go to Andrew first because Clayton will ramble.
Okay,
Mine was gonna be really
This
short.
is my
yeah.
favorite interpretation of Ben Affleck Batman. I mean, we've only seen him like 2.5 times.
Yeah.
But I liked him better. I feel like he got his footing a little bit more, and like they just treated him as like a fully introduced character, not just someone who came in
Yeah.
on the last movie. So I think this was the best job that Ben Affleck's done. In saying that, I could tell that I don't think he wants to be there anymore.
Yeah, I think he's going to leave. I have that feeling.
Yeah, like I for a little bit I thought they were gonna kill him off in this movie so that they could just be done with Ben Affleck.
Did you guys hear that he tried to steal a Batarang off set?
Yes,
Did
I
he?
did.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, he did not get away with it.
Oh no.
I thought he did. He just got charged.
Oh, maybe he was
Like,
then.
Yeah, they just made him pay for it.
That's funny.
Really? They don't
I mean,
like-
I'd do the fucking same.
I mean, fucking Ryan Reynolds just walked off set with the Deadpool costume and never gave it back to them.
Different, though.
So, I guess it's Deadpool.
Yeah, Fox
He is
versus
Deadpool,
Warner
though.
Brother.
I guess, yeah. Warner Brothers is more established.
So, how did you feel about Batman?
I mean, I like Batman. I like Ben Affleck as Batman. He's cool and he does a good job. I had no complaints when it come to Batman.
I had one complaint, and I noticed it again this time after watching BVS kind of recently. So you notice, like, when Superman punches someone, you kind of get that feeling that he hits hard as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I get the feeling, like, the way they shoot it, or the way it just feels to me that Batman is way too strong in this universe.
How so?
Like, I just, like, the way he punches or kicks or does stuff just feels like he impacts someone at a way too strong of a way that a normal human wouldn't, and I think that just comes from the way they're doing the CG. But, like, think about it. When he threw that guy's head through the wall, through the ground in BVS where that guy didn't die, like,
Of course he didn't.
he was like, he just felt like he had a lot of strength behind his punches, and it felt like that again in Justice League. And I don't know if I enjoy that, because it, like, I want to see, like, he was beating the fuck out of, like, a parademon. Like, he was, like, having strong ass punches to them, and I just feel like I shouldn't get that feeling from Batman.
Why?
Yeah, with you saying that, I don't know if I totally agree. I definitely see what you mean by, like, he is kind of overpowered for just a mortal.
A human like that, yeah.
A human, yeah. So, in this movie, Justice League, I felt, if anything, Batman, like, shouldn't have been there. Like, he didn't really help anybody. Like, he was very much outclassed by every single other one of the heroes. Like, there were people stronger than him. There were people smarter than him. I don't think... Obviously, you need to be there to, like, unite the League and be, like, one of its leaders, but, again, this is more on the note of Ben Affleck doesn't want to be here. Like, I don't think he's essential or incredibly helpful when it comes to the League.
Batman did the same thing in this movie he does in every other Justice League story ever. He came up with all the plans.
I agree, and I don't think Batman shouldn't have been there. I just think they should have used him differently.
I agree.
I see no issues with it. Like, well, no, logically, he didn't do all the fighting because he couldn't, because he's Batman and they're aliens. He came up with all the plans.
I agree.
Took the lead together. He was the brains, which he always is, which is what Batman does.
Yep.
And he hasn't done anything physically above what a normal human can do. In the comics, he's not the only human to have taken down parademons. Green Arrow did, Black Canary did. She was weaker than both of those two.
I'm not saying that it just felt like he was hitting them at a strength that he shouldn't have been hitting.
I don't think so. The way that Batman's built in this is not like bodybuilder built. It's like strongman built.
I
where
agree.
He's like not like super ripped. He's super big. And I think the force behind his punches are like, well, I know for a fact they're not physically impossible. He could easily punch like that, especially with anger.
I get the feeling that the Batflick we got in that movie could punch through a very solid brick wall.
I didn't get that feeling.
I don't know why. I can't explain it. That's just how I feel when I watch him move around or do anything in those movies. I have no explanation to why. That's just how I feel about it.
It's weird. I don't know. You just
look for it.
He's confident. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't know what I don't know where you're going with this.
I'm not.
I don't know if it was confirmed, but before this point, but they confirmed that he was fighting crime for 20 years,
yes.
I believe.
Yeah, he did say that.
That was cool to put like a sense on how long he's been doing his thing.
Yeah, which gives us a lot of backstory options. Did they say 20 years? I knew they mentioned it that it was a while, but I didn't think we got a number until this movie.
I thought we got like a relative estimate.
It's been a while.
I watched it recently.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I did too.
Who do you guys want to go with next? Wonder Woman, Flash, Cyborg, Superman?
Might as well do Wonder Woman. She's the only one who's had a movie before them. So
True. So, what'd you guys find on Wonder Woman this one? Better, worse, same, hot?
Hot.
Definitely hot.
Oh
my God.
Better than what?
Than the last time we saw her.
Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
Well, no,
or
not
BBS.
better than Wonder Woman because it wasn't her movie.
Like, how did you feel about her? Like,
I mean, she was good. She did Wonder Woman things. She was essentially the same character in this movie as she was in the last movies.
Yeah.
So, she just carried the status quo as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I enjoyed her.
I like that she was reluctant to be, because like, she definitely should be the team leader.
I agree.
Like, for sure, she has the most experience and, I guess, knowledge when fighting these alien threats. So like, but I like that she was reluctant to take up the lead of the team. Another thing to note, in my opinion, is I really, 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 really liked her in the Wonder Woman movie, but the character that we're getting in Justice League and the character that we got in Batman vs Superman is different, and like I understand that it's like 100 years after the events of Wonder Woman, but I don't like it as much. Like she's less fun and like not as her dialogue isn't the same. But in saying that, I really enjoyed her. She was probably like my favorite part of the team.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
That leads me into my next question, specifically straight to you first, Andrew. How'd you find the Flash?
I wanted to really like him a lot. I like Ezra Miller. I really like the Flash. He was the comic relief, and some of his stuff landed. Some of his stuff was annoying. And I was confused as to what point in the Flash, like, is he just starting? Like, did he start last week? Because like that's the vibe I was getting.
I'm definitely getting a new sense from him, which I think will lead us nicely into the Flashpoint movie they've been talking about.
I don't think he's been Flash for more than a year max.
Yeah, that's my guess.
I didn't like a lot of the dialogue with him. I thought it was very distracting at times. There's definitely some funny parts, but just a lot of his stuff, it was just like, oh my god, like, shut up, or like say something useful instead of just making a joke every time. Like, obviously the Flash is a funny, smart-ass character, but I just wish like there was a better balance, and I don't think that's a fault on Ezra Miller. I think a lot of the script gave him kind of shit to work with.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he was fine. It's just, I mean, I like Grant Gustin better.
That's fair. Clayton?
Yeah.
I don't think I like Grant Gustin better. I don't know. I like Grant Gustin. I do. I love him, actually. He's great. But, like, I've always liked him better in The Flash than in anything that involved anyone else. I've always found his chemistry with any other character always falls flat. The best chemistry he had with any other character was when he wasn't The Flash, when he was just Barry Allen.
In Season 2 Arrow.
So I don't think Grant Gustin Flash would even work in a team setting whatsoever. Because the only times I've ever seen him team up with someone, he's been my least favorite part of the team, not counting the Legends of Tomorrow, because they're the Legends of Tomorrow. Like, I don't know. Like, in the Flash, when a solo Flash movie comes out, I'll compare it to the solo Flash movie to the solo Flash show. But comparing all the team-ups that they've both been in, I never really liked the Flash in the team-ups in the CW. He's always the most annoying or, like, the most underwhelming character in the team-up.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been getting kind of bored of the CW Flash. I'm finding Grant kind of annoying. I don't know if that's going to pick up again because it's starting to get humorous. But I found this Flash felt kind of like Season 1 Flash, but more awkward, if that makes sense.
I related to him on every single level.
Yeah, me too.
Because I am Ezra Miller. If I was a superhero tomorrow, I would be the same superhero that Flash in that movie was.
I totally agree. Like, it's...
I don't have any friends. I don't know how to fight aliens. I just push shoplifters. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
This is weird. This is scary. Teach me, Batman. Like, I am the Flash in that movie, and he doesn't know how to talk to women either, which is also me. So
that was my favorite part of him as the Flash, like where the inexperience was showing. Like, I thought that was really well done. Those are my favorite parts. And I feel like that's where they should have put their focus on more and less on the comic relief.
I agree with that. I liked the fact that they used inexperience as a very easy way to not make him do everything he can do. Because, like, a fully powered Flash is stupid strong. Like, he can do pretty much anything you think of. Mm-hmm. So, like, I liked when he's not super overpowered and he's not super overpowered. I have no other word for it.
Yeah, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
Also, my favorite part of the movie, we'll get more into it later, was with the Flash, and it was when he was running at Superman, and his eye was following him.
Yeah.
And he was just like, oh, fuck. Like, this has never happened before.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
That was my favorite part of the movie, that one, like, little mini scene.
So, Cyborg or Soups?
What about Aquaman?
Or Aquaman.
Yeah, I didn't forget about Jason Momoa.
How did you forget about Jason Momoa?
I'm not sure.
weirdo.
Yeah.
I don't know. My Cyborg piece is relatively short.
Yeah, I have very little opinions
Same.
on Cyborg, so let's just get him out of the way.
Not in a negative way.
No, me neither. I don't know enough about the
Yeah.
character to
Surprisingly,
give
he
me
was probably the most relevant character
Yeah.
in terms of his like requirement for the plot and like usefulness in the plot. So that was cool. That was one of my concerns. I thought he was going to be just kind of shoehorned in there and not necessary, but he contributed.
Now, my first thought leaving that movie in relation to Cyborg was, do you think we'll get a Brother Eye soon because of him?
Brother Eyes Batman's invention.
I know, but
No, not soon. I'm not saying never. Like, we'll define soon. Like, do you mean the next Cyborg movie, or do you mean like
either the
Phase
next
2?
Cyborg movie or like the second Justice League movie?
No,
You don't think?
no. Maybe after the second Justice League movie, but not by then.
Hmm.
I would say they not the first Cyborg movie, because I think that'd bring either they completely change it or it'd bring too much Batman in for a Cyborg movie, because then it would be Batman and Cyborg,
I mean,
not Cyborg.
Batman is their
He's the show
pretty
stealer, though. You can't put him in. You can't put it. Superman's big enough that they can both go in the same movie and share the load kind of together. Cyborg is not big enough and doesn't have the fan base following to go in a movie with Batman or a co-movie with Batman without it being a Batman movie.
yeah, I guess unless they kind of just had it briefly and it was kind of like a sad-looking Ben Affleck there in the Batcave.
I'm not saying you can't have a reference or a cameo,
True.
but you can't have enough Batman to stay true to Brother Eye's usual origin without it becoming a Batman movie.
Fair.
So, no, I would say maybe after Justice League 2, if it goes the way I think it does, and they're going to introduce the Legion of Doom,
Mm-hmm.
well, either that or Darkseid, but I think I don't think until the Legion of Doom comes out that they'll ever consider making a Brother Eye.
Fair enough.
Because why would they? At the point right now, there isn't any global supervillain. The only one was Steppenwolf, and Brother Eye's not going to help that because he's an alien from a different, like, way far away. There hasn't really been a reason so far to make one, right?
Fair enough.
And it was Cyborg. We never actually really talked about him.
Or like, do we have it? He was fine. He was totally fine.
I actually really liked him. I liked him more than I thought I would, because they stayed really true and kind of put like. They stayed really true to like Cyborg in the New 52, where like he doesn't like he's new to Cyborg and doesn't want to be a cyborg. Like he's a college football star who wanted to be a football player and go through actually university or college or whatever it was and have his life, and now he's thrust into this accident and then forced to live. He didn't really have a choice whether or not he wanted this. His dad just shoved it upon him, and now he's stuck living as a cyborg, where he might have just preferred to have died.
Yeah.
Which
I
wouldn't
definitely
blame
think
him.
that was necessary for this universe, like that interpretation.
Yeah.
But I really liked how they did that. But then as the movie progressed and like it found its tone a little more, he started to lighten up and show like pre-New 52 characteristics, which I really enjoyed. Like he started to get a little more like lighthearted, and we even caught a booyah.
I was just gonna mention that.
And the transition was so natural too. Like
it
wasn't like a forced transition.
I really liked his character progression.
Right, and like. It was awesome because his arc was really good in that movie, where he started off in this kind of like really bad state where he's like not in the mindset to be a hero because he doesn't even want to be really alive at this point.
Yeah.
He's stuck into this, and then as he meets these other superpowered people who are honestly kind of freaks, he finds his niche and he finds that he can do something, and he might actually want to do something for this world to keep it in it, and he kind of slowly brings it up to maybe he has a reason to be alive. Maybe he stayed alive for a reason, and it isn't just hopeless. He's going to be a freak and an outcast for the rest of his life. He can do something. And I actually, Cyborg was one of my more liked character arcs in the film because of how natural and how logical it flowed. So past that, I don't have much to say about him, because in all the other parts he was mostly just average. Like he wasn't the funniest. Flash was. He wasn't the best fighter. Superman, Wonder Woman was, depending on what you want to count. And he wasn't the smartest because Batman was. But like, he was useful and he was good. He was there, and his character arc was great.
I agree.
So Superman.
Sure. That was so cool. I fucking loved.
Okay.
I loved it. Andrew can go first if he wants.
Here's my piece. I'm just gonna say real quick. This was by far, hands down, my favorite interpretation of Henry Cavill's Superman.
Yeah?
By a lot.
Why? What set it different?
Tenfold. He displayed more Superman aspects. Like towards the end of the movie, like he was like likable and charismatic and a good guy and like a respectable hero. And like I very much enjoyed that. I think everything we've gotten before, in my opinion, has been rather shit. He's just always been brooding, and he's been like a fucking brick wall and not charismatic. And that's not a knock against Henry Cavill necessarily. It's just a knock on how they were interpreting and writing the character.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I got a very different tone in this movie. Like, he was, like, a nice, good guy. Like, I don't think if The Flash was in any other movie, there's not a chance Superman would have raced him. Like, that was very much this character. So I very much enjoyed this new, like, lightened tone and take on Superman.
Clayton?
I completely disagree with everything you just said, to start it off.
You didn't like Superman in this?
No, I love Superman in this. That's the only thing I agree with. I think Superman just went through the exact same arc pretty much the Cyborg did. It just took 3 movies instead of 1. But we don't have to talk about that. That's not really only Justice League. As for Superman and Justice League, I don't know. It was so cool. Like, it was natural. It made sense. Like, he died, and then all of a sudden he's awake, and there's a bunch of people he doesn't know. He kind of, like, saw Diana before. Like, a bunch of people he mostly doesn't know. The memorial he was at is kind of destroyed. And he's like, what the hell is happening? And he kind of gets blasted by Cyborg by accident.
Yeah.
And then he just fucking loses his shit. And when he sees Batman, he's like, no. And he's like, you're an asshole. And then it fell together so well. And as he kind of started to like rationalize and figure himself out, he did become that Boy Scout that I know and tolerate in the comic books. And it was fun, and he was cool. I just really liked most of his scenes because I felt they're just cool.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree with that. I think where we're gonna always differ is everything before this, but for this movie and whatnot, I think we're totally on the same page. I really enjoyed him in this movie, and I think he was probably the best part of every scene he was in.
I could agree with that.
So I'm gonna flip the page.
Right.
I definitely liked him in this movie. I just feel like we're going to get a boring Superman again. He's going to be the goody two-shoes Boy Scout, all about truth, justice, and the American way, and blah, 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 blah bullshit. I don't care.
I'd rather that every time over everything we've gotten before.
Pardon?
I'd rather that over everything we've gotten before, personally.
And I get that, and I understand why.
Leave the brooding for Batman.
I don't know, I just find I like it when he's not the classic goody two-shoes. I find it's more interesting than, you know what? I'm gonna save a kitten in a tree because I can. I get that. You can do fucking anything. That's awesome. But I don't know. I've always found Superman boring. So one of the few things I actually enjoyed about Man of Steel was the fact that he wasn't boring. Batman v Superman was a bit different because of the dynamic of that movie. And in this, I just feel like we're going to go back to boring Superman. But you guys are going to disagree. That's fine. That's my 3 cents on the opinion.
Not necessarily disagree. I see where you're going, and I don't think he's there yet. I agree with you where there is some renditions of Superman where I also find him boring. You know Superman's kind of like sometimes like him, sometimes don't for me, because sometimes he is annoyingly boring. Yeah. But I don't think he's there yet. I think he still has enough kind of conflict inside of him that they don't have to necessarily go that way if they don't want to.
That's fair.
It's not like they forced him to that's the only path that's left to him. He still has that kind of area where he could be. I think the best of both worlds is what I'm looking for, because I enjoy Superman in the last 2 movies, the way, because the conflicts he was going through made sense, and I'm not going to get into them too much because I could literally talk for an hour about it, and we don't have that time. But, like, you know, coming to the new world and going through all the shit he went through, it didn't make sense for him to be Sunny. Why the fuck would you be Sunny? If you're happy during the events of Man of Steel, you weren't watching Man of Steel. And if you're happy during the events of Batman vs. Superman, you weren't watching Batman vs. Superman, because that wasn't the situation he was thrust in. He was thrust into such conflict right off the bat where there wasn't a chance for him to be happy. There finally is. So he's kind of like... But I also kind of miss the sunny side of Superman, too, where, you know, it's nice to see him where he has some enjoyment in life, because I don't want to see Superman absolutely depressed all the time. One of my favorite things I've ever seen of Superman, one of the favorite panels I've ever seen, there's two actually, both in the Injustice series. One where he finds out Lois is pregnant, and the first thing he does is goes and tells Batman, his best friend. He's like, guess what? And Batman's like, Lois is pregnant. He's like, how the fuck did you know? He's like, I'm Batman. And he's just happy.
Yeah.
And another scene is he's in a dream where Lois didn't die and they prevented the thing that started Injustice, and he's happy because he has some sort of thing. So I like the gray area where he has a chance to be happy, but there also is conflicts in his life to make it so he can't always be sunny.
Yeah,
It makes a middle area, and I think that's still open to them with the way they've gone in the movies, that he can have a balance of both.
Yeah, you know,
and I think that's the best way to go.
You've convinced me, kid.
Now, the way you describe that, I really, really like it, and it really makes sense to me. But just as in the order that the movies came out and what we got to work with, I wasn't a fan. But if it like played out perfectly like how you just described it and how it made you feel, I totally see where you're coming from, and I enjoy the arc. It's just I feel like the execution of it in the movies wasn't done the greatest. But if it like, I totally see where you're coming from now, and I appreciate your perspective after hearing that.
And I appreciate yours, because it isn't perfect, I'll admit that.
Babe.
So, after that cute-ass moment, Khal Drogo, unless you guys have more thoughts on Superman?
Is he the last guy we haven't done yet?
He
is. No, I think that's good enough for Superman. Again, anything else I were to say would just spark a conversation we don't have time for, so best we move on for now.
I mean, do you bleed?
That was so, I enjoyed that.
That was a great
I thought
line.
that was a nice line.
I fucking died. I thought that was the greatest fucking thing ever.
And Batman's like, something's
they were like just like kind of standing with each other, and there was like that period of silence. I physically like yelled out in the cinema. I'm like, say Martha,
Martha,
say Martha. If they said Martha, I would have shit my pants.
Oh my god.
You guys last time. Why do it this time? Come on, Batman, you're smart. Say Martha.
Say Martha. He's holding by the throat. Martha waves white flag. Martha. To be fair,
how do you know that name?
Superman hasn't actually seen his mom since she was kidnapped by Lex Luthor before he died.
Yeah.
So as far as he knows, she died too. Actually, I'm sure Superman or Batman told her she's not dead. But as far as he knows, she could have been like not overly great. He actually died before seeing her again.
So,
which is sad.
Yeah. Khal Drogo.
Khal Drogo. That was cool.
For people that don't understand how I speak of comic book characters and TV characters.
We just say Aquaman.
He's Aquaman, and he's played by the same actor that plays Khal Drogo in Game of Thrones.
Jason Momoa.
I like to be a dick and do that because I like to see the confusion on people's face when I'm talking to them about stuff. That's just me being a dick.
Anyways, Arthur Curry.
If you're previously established as a different like character that we're interested in, you're always going to be that character, a la Ramsey in Inhumans.
Yeah. Well, see, I always like to refer them as what they like. If I'm talking about Loras Tyrell in Game of Thrones, I refer to him as Iron Fist, and if I'm talking about Iron Fist in Iron Fist, I talk about him as Loras Tyrell.
Eric always switches it because Eric's a dick.
Correct.
I refer to him as Danny Rand, the protector of Kunlun and the immortal Iron Fist, personally.
Okay, well, if you want to fucking...
Well, wait, sorry, what's his name? I couldn't catch it the first time.
I think he said Danny Rand.
Really? Can you repeat it 50 more times so I make sure I get it down? Because I wasn't 100% sure walking out of Iron Fist.
You're getting off
You're not
topic.
100% sure of Danny Rand, the immortal Iron Fist?
The confidence he has saying that. I'm the immortal Iron Fist. Shut the fuck. Anyway, sorry, we're off topic.
Confidence.
Yeah. If you could talk to girls the same way Danny Rand could tell people he's the immortal Iron Fist, you might be laid.
Okay.
Okay.
We went to
Anyways,
not get laid. You might be laid.
I might be laid.
Maybe all the time. Eric is always laid. He is laid.
That's what people keep telling me.
No, it's not. Anyways, Arthur Curry, Aquaman, our resident Namor.
Nice.
You're welcome for that. You're welcome for that. That was a stretch for me. I'm not a huge MCU guy.
One of the few
characters that came first.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. Someone else go first. I don't want to go first.
I liked him.
They could have easily taken him out of the movie and it wouldn't have changed.
I agree, but I'm glad he was there.
I agree as well.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I definitely did not like him based on any scenes. It's just, strictly speaking, he contributed the least to the team other than a couple
Yeah.
and thrown non-trident because there was 5 prongs, so it was
A pendant.
a pendant.
A pendant.
Yeah. One of the funniest scenes in the movie was when he was just going off on a rant
That
and he
was
was sitting
weird.
on the lasso of truth. That was amazing.
That was fucking hilarious. You're so
Yeah.
you're gorgeous.
That was 100% Whedon. I'm willing to bet Clayton's life on it.
Oh
Thanks,
yeah,
man.
no, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Aquaman probably contributed the least to that team, other than just an upfront strength guy. He
Yeah.
was there to take the shots from Steppenwolf because
He can.
Batman couldn't,
Yeah.
and someone needed to distract him while Cyborg did his shit, and
Yeah.
Wonder Woman got her shit together. I think he was necessary though, because one of those boxes was in Atlantis, and it wouldn't have made sense for them to go to Atlantis, and
Fair
Aquaman
enough.
wasn't in the movie.
Yeah, true.
But that's an easy.
Aquaman was very much the Wonder Woman and Batman vs Superman.
He was the
Kind of.
yeah.
Like, he was pretty much there to establish
Well-
his character and contribute a little bit.
I don't think so. Wonder Woman was
I like the execution for Aquaman better. He was more integrated into the plot.
yeah. Well, Wonder Woman was like a highlight of Batman vs Superman, whereas Aquaman
Mhm.
was like I wouldn't say highlight. He was
I'm
good.
I'm just talking
but,
about
like-
the purpose of being there.
Yeah, I guess. Like he was mostly there to establish the setup for his movie. Like the only like important character building on Aquaman we got was he's kind of reluctant to jump into the world, and he's also reluctant to be the king of Atlantis. But he also at the heart of him likes helping people. That's mostly what we got.
So,
Now,
speaking
from
of
what
him
I
helping
got,
people,
like, I don't think he's ever been to Atlantis before.
He's definitely been there. He just doesn't spend too much time there. Yeah.
Okay.
so speaking of him helping people, apparently, and I think I read that Jason Momoa confirmed this. Jason Momoa helped save Superman during the oil rig scene.
Oh,
from Man
really?
of Steel.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, he was there. That's when they met.
You think is that like confirmed?
I'm 90% sure.
That'd be interesting.
I think it's just accepted. I'm not sure if it's 120% like
It's-
confirmed,
it's
but
like-
I think it's accepted.
Like that little kid from Iron Man 2 is Peter Parker.
Fair enough. Now, did Aquaman save him personally, or because there's when Superman's sinking in that oil rig scene, you can very very audibly hear blue whales in the background speaking. Do you think Aquaman used blue whales to save him by talking to fish, or do you think Aquaman went himself?
Maybe both.
Maybe both.
Maybe.
And
both.
do you think
You had
Aquaman
me
knew that
at
was
talking
Superman?
to fish, because that was definitely established. Even though I don't think we saw it.
Do you talk to fish? No, it doesn't matter. And there's no way Aquaman would have known that was Superman at the time, though.
No.
Right?
No, he just was.
Would he have known he's a meta though? Like, would he have known? Like, does he? I don't know. I guess depends how much of the oil rig he
I
saw.
wasn't there, man.
I guess. But now that you've opened this can of worms, I have questions.
Okay, well,
You brought this on yourself.
I don't have the answers, Rick.
Well, that's fair enough. 20% is accurate as usual, Morty. Anyways, cool. I think that might have. I don't know. Yeah, cool. That's fine. I have nothing more to say about that.
I have no other thoughts of Aquaman. I enjoyed
I
him.
have one opinion,
Good
and
for
I'd
you.
like to hear the conversation.
Sure.
I don't think Jason Momoa is going to be able to carry his own movie.
You don't?
I don't. Like, based off what we've seen of him so far, he's just kind of there, and, like, he has a couple lines, but, like, I don't, like, from what we got in Justice League, I don't think that's enough to give him a movie to work with. But, I mean, we'll see what they do. It's just, from what I saw, I don't think him as a character has enough going for him.
I think they would have to dramatically change the character. The character we got in Justice League was very lighthearted. He was very quippy and very woo-y, you know?
And kind of a dick, which was fun.
Yeah. I feel like in Aquaman movie, we'll need a bit of development to take on whoever he's going to take on. Because, like, that character isn't a character that'll go through an arc to learn something. Like, he needs, something needs to happen, his character needs to develop. Because right there and then, I don't give a shit if he saves Atlantis or not. He doesn't even give a shit if he saves Atlantis or not. Like,
Yeah.
they need to go through some sort of development.
I half agree, and let me tell you why. Just hear me out for a second here. So, one, as it is, they wouldn't have to make significant changes, I don't think, to... Like, they gave him kind of gray areas in his personality, where there were, like, the scene in Atlantis where he wasn't all woo-y, he was kind of serious, and almost would say, like, kind of upset or whatever. However, at the end of the day, I don't think he has to carry his own movie. I think when the movie comes around, Mira is going to be just as big of a part as Jason Momoa is when it comes down to it, or like 60-40. I don't think he's going to carry his own movie. I think the Atlanteans, or the main characters in Atlantis, are going to be just as important to that.
Yeah.
It's not going to be Superman going all over the world doing Superman things. It's going to be Atlantis as a city. And I'm gonna say plot points right now of my prediction. I think that what's going to start off is something's going to happen in Atlantis that's going to draw him to it, and then him and Mira are going to have to team up together to defeat Black Manta.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be Black Manta. I'm calling it right now.
Yeah, no, that's what I would figure.
I'm pretty sure it's confirmed.
Is it? I don't know. I didn't know. I wasn't sure if it was confirmed or not. But
I wouldn't be shocked.
yeah, I don't like. I think it's they have it set up in a way where I see the movie going and where I would take it myself. I know he's in a fine spot for taking it, but when it comes down to it, I don't think the movie is going to be solo Aquaman movie. I think it's going to be the name Aquaman, and then it's going to be Aquaman and Squad. It's going to be like Thor Ragnarok, where it's going to be a movie about Aquaman, but then
And
it's
the
going to
Hulk?
be a friend from work,
Okay,
and then
cool.
it's going to be
Yeah,
Aquaman
I
and
think they
Squad.
have to do that.
So now, also, let's not forget the director of the Aquaman movie,
James
James Wan, who's a
horror
classic
movie.
horror guy, right?
I hope there's like not necessarily horror.
Horror
like-
and Fast and the Furious.
Yeah,
He didn't
true.
do all of Fast and Furious.
No,
There's
he did
like
the
two.
newest one or
Is
the-
it one or
The
two?
good ones.
The good ones.
The good ones. Yeah, I would be very okay with seeing like not I wouldn't say horror because I don't think it'd fit, but like
Suspenseful
thrillery aspects in Aquaman.
Caught a
I'd
piece
I'd
of
be
that spinner.
down.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool. I'm excited. James Wan does pretty good work from what I've heard and seen. So, and Jason Momoa.
Now, real quick, one more main character, like antagonist. No, I'm having a bloody stroke. Protagonist. Before we move on to the villain, and I'm gonna test you viewers at home. What'd you guys think of Tenzin?
Wait,
You guys will get this. I believe in you two.
Tenzin, Commissioner Jordan.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
Who was played by?
I want to do it. So, Cora's my girl. Fuck
Alright,
off.
well,
So,
He was only in like one scene, right?
Yeah,
a
exactly.
couple. No, he had a
Okay.
couple. I think three in total. For the viewers at home, in the show Legend of Korra, Tenzin, the Airbender father, is voiced by what's his name,
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons, who played Commissioner Gordon in the movie. I got you.
I decided to go with
I
Tenzin
got
as a
you.
more challenging one over J. Jonah Jameson.
That's fair.
I thought that one was too easy.
I think he didn't have enough to make a
No.
full opinion, but I think he has a great start to going towards being a cool Commissioner Gordon.
I brought that up as the joke for the Tenzin thing. We really don't have to talk about him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not that big a deal.
You know, I agree with Clayton. I think he's a good Commissioner Gordon for the Batman that we have.
Yeah, older, grizzled, experienced, and I think he can do great things in the Batman Arkham Asylum movie that they're making.
Has a good mustache.
Has a good mustache.
So, Andrew told us that he didn't like the look of him, but how did you feel about Steppenwolf?
It's not even necessarily the look I didn't like, it's just his CGI. I thought was shit.
Yeah.
Did you know Steppenwolf was played by the King Beyond the Wall in Game of Thrones?
Mance Raider.
Mance Raider.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I caught the name in the opening scroll, and he was the only person I could pick together to be in the opening scroll who I didn't
didn't
recognize
know, yeah.
immediately, so I thought it was him. And I saw the name and couldn't remember. I knew it was Game of Thrones, couldn't remember who it was, and had to look it up, so I unfortunately failed in that aspect. But yeah.
The voice, it was so familiar, I couldn't put the voice to the
See,
face.
I didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen Mance Raider scenes in long enough that I didn't put the voice together.
Yeah, true.
I just did deductive work to figure it had to be him.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew, you can go first. Sorry, I interrupted.
I didn't like the look of him, and I mean, he didn't really do a whole lot. He just got some boxes, then got his ass kicked.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, like, he didn't do much for me. Like, he's not a villain that I'm ever gonna, like, remember or recollect when I'm thinking of, like, the best comic book movie villains. But, I mean, that's the same problem with pretty much every Marvel movie.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it's a disposable villain
Yeah.
that serves to provide reason for the heroes to do what they do. So, like, he served that function, and it's not something I'm gonna rip on because I love every single Marvel movie, and this is the same flaw that they have. So, like, I'm not going to complain about it. It's just he was one of those kind of villains.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that was the intention.
Yeah.
He wasn't the big bad because if they made him too hard, it would have either underwhelmed Darkseid or make Darkseid's defeat seem illogical.
Yeah.
I think he had to be kind of underpowered when it came down to the very end movie. But I agree completely. He was disposable. He was no He was a challenge, but no major challenge that they ever had. There was ever a doubt they had overcome, and I mean, when it comes to looks and stuff, I was fine with it. I'm not really a visual guy when it comes to like making a difference to me. As long as it looks fine, I'm cool with it. Every one of that movie looked fine. I was cool with the looks. It's cool. I don't really care. And for the villain, he was strong. Like I said, he was strong enough to pose a challenge, but not strong enough to pose a challenge that seemed insurmountable.
I think we should footnote it with strong enough to provide a challenge for every member but Superman.
Yeah.
Well,
Once Superman got in there, it was a joke.
Yes, with the Justice League already there. If it was Superman versus Steppenwolf in the army alone, Superman would have lost. Maybe not lost, but he wouldn't have saved the world.
Yeah.
Superman did need the rest of the Justice League to save the world there.
I agree.
In a 1v1 fight...
I thought it was so funny how, like, I mean, it's his character, but, like, I'd like to chat about this for a little bit. Like,
Sure.
soon as Superman got there, like, the fight was pretty well over. And then he had to go save people, and then there was more conflict because we need a longer climax. And then he came back, and it was just donezo.
On that scene in itself, we finally got Cold Breath.
You heard me
I know.
say, like, get excited. I was audibly and visibly excited when that happened.
Yep.
I agree. I thought that was fucking awesome.
You should have seen the disappointment on Clayton's girlfriend's face in the theaters when he got, like, way too excited just about Superman breathing.
Okay, that's the first time we saw it in the movies.
I'm with you. I'm there with you. I would have been next to you if she'd let me.
I know, I shouldn't have given her the choice. I should have just... I didn't think about it until you said something and I was like, shit. Yeah, no. Like, see, the thing about that was the Justice League challenge... Was Steppenwolf and the Justice League were challenges to each other before Superman got there. So when he did, it was enough to easily push it over.
I wasn't a huge fan of. I really liked the fight of the Justice League fighting, but Superman was so much stronger than every single other person. Like, I know in the comics he's very strong, but like I didn't think he like made Wonder Woman look like a joke or Aquaman look like a joke.
I don't think he did.
He was having his way with them pretty easy with two people coming at him.
I guess, but well.
And then still had the ability to, like...
You're right. No, now that I think about it, you're right. Aquaman, yes. Superman would destroy Aquaman, no challenge. Wonder Woman, no. Wonder Woman has beaten Superman in the past. Not because she's stronger. She isn't. Superman's a lot stronger than her. She's just a much better fighter. She isn't as good as Batman, but is comparable enough to make the similar kind of, like, superior fighting style as Batman would against Superman.
Yeah,
she's just a much better martial artist in general.
Superman wouldn't need to fight. He punches people. Like,
exactly. But, like, so Wonder Woman... Aquaman, no. Wonder Woman, yes, should have stood a better challenge. And I guess at the end of the day, she was the biggest when it came down to it. But, yeah, he did defeat her a bit too easily. Yeah. Hopefully they'll kind of give them a rematch at some point. Or maybe not, whatever. Yeah. But I can agree with that one. That one I will agree with.
Okay.
On that note... I have one definite thing I want to talk about too. We can breeze through, but end credit scenes first.
Right. Yes.
I can't remember the first one.
There was a race.
Right. Superman's gonna win that one.
I loved it. I thought that was so fucking fun.
Yeah, me too.
I couldn't stop seeing
Melissa. At the same time, like, I think this is too early for that to happen. Because I mean, I'm more okay with it now that we've. I don't think it's confirmed, but like. The three of us, have established that Ezra Miller's been the Flash for about a year, we'll say.
Yeah, maybe less. I say a year maximum.
He lost a race to Superman very easily, with Superman lifting a whole fucking building.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I just want to put that out there. Like, Ezra Miller pushed a truck, and Superman pretty well got there at the same time, while also starting behind him, lifting an entire building.
Not necessarily. That's a matter of perspective. He easily could have been looking... backwards. Like, you can't confirm that they started the same spot and went to the same spot at the end of the day. But I would say Superman did beat him by the way he caught up to him in the first place.
Yeah.
But Superman will win that for now.
Yeah, for sure. For now,
I thought it was a super fun incorporation.
Yeah, it was. You're right.
I appreciated that a lot as a fan.
Now, was anyone expecting Deathstroke?
No,
No.
Oh yes. That was great.
I find the fucking timing of this hilarious because, like, we just got off 2 weeks of Deathstroke on Arrow.
Spoilers.
I haven't seen him.
Didn't know he was there.
I did for the first one, but not two.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
It's fine.
But
It's
yeah, no,
not a big deal.
we like in the same week that we got Deathstroke on TV, we got him in a movie. I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
And the best
Yeah.
part, I didn't see it coming. I had no idea. At this point, seeing as the overhaul that Matt Reeves did on Ben Affleck's script, I wasn't even 100% sure Deathstroke was still in the universe. I wasn't sure if Joe Manganiello was still going to be Deathstroke because of the apparent possibility of changes in the Batman movie. So the fact that he was there was awesome. I didn't see it coming at all. Literally 0% foresight on that one, which is cool.
For half a second, so you know, like when they showed Lex Luthor in the cell and it like wasn't Jesse Eisenberg, I'm like, oh my, did they fucking recast him?
Yeah.
I was freaking out for a second, but then it showed him on the boat, and yeah, that was fun.
Oh, when he
I
laughed,
still hate him.
I knew it wasn't Lex as soon as he laughed. I was like, oh boy, he's escaped. He's gone.
Now, if you had to pick 3 characters, so like we know we've got fucking Lex Luthor and Deathstroke. Pick an additional 3 for your Legion of Doom.
Your Legion of Doom.
Doom.
There you
Andrew, who, if you could pick 3 more characters to that team, obviously there'll be more, but we don't have time to name them all. What would be your
I
top
think
3?
we need people to counter each one of the heroes
I
that doesn't
agree.
have a villain in there yet.
I agree.
So I mean, I'd say Cheetah for Wonder.
That's exactly what I said.
But I think I want to save her for the next Wonder Woman movie, maybe.
I think
Maybe.
Cheetah would be a really good person to be able to actually fuck up Superman.
See, I think Cheetah would be better in the Legion of Doom, and then Cersei would be better in the next Wonder Woman movie. If you don't know who Cersei is, she's another minor Greek god, or maybe not a god, but like powerful Greek magic user. She wouldn't make sense in the Legion of Doom, whereas Cheetah would. So that's why I say that.
Okay. And then I guess I don't know, Black Manta for Aquaman, maybe. I
I think
really
he'll be
know
defeated,
any
though.
Aquaman villains.
That's true.
And then
Let's see. We need someone for who do we need?
Flash and Cyborg, but I don't know any Cyborg villains.
Okay. I don't know. I don't want to throw Reverse Flash in there, but I think we need someone to balance that speed.
I think
aspect.
Reverse Flash
Is
would
the
be
most logical choice.
Either that or maybe Gorilla
I think
Grodd.
it has to be.
Yeah. I mean, you could not counter the speed for now. Technically, since Ezra Miller is new enough as he is, assuming he doesn't gain a super big amount of experience before the next Justice League movie, and he's still relatively new, you could pass it off without matching speed exactly, and Lex Luthor could come with some brainy contraption to defeat him. Because Lex is pretty smart.
He's quick man.
Not quite as great as Batman, but he's good.
He's quick. Very, very quick. In a different way. See what I did there?
Enough out of you.
Okay, fair enough.
So sorry, Andrew. At the end of the edit, did you decide on your 3 just to clarify it for us?
I don't know. I guess Black Manta, Cheetah, Reverse Flash. I'm not too sure. I'll take what we get.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
me too. I will 100% take what I got. I just wanted to spark some interesting conversation.
I'm not informed enough to provide great commentary on.
Yeah.
That's fair. Now, question: are we doing who we want to see or who we think we're gonna see? There's a difference.
I would like to hear who you want to see,
Yeah, me too.
because I said who I think we're gonna see.
Okay, who I would like to see would be Gorilla Grodd
Me too.
for one,
Okay.
Cheetah,
Cool.
and I think Bizarro.
Yeah, I think Bizarro's a good pick in there.
Cool. Now Barry Allen has talked to gorillas before.
Exactly.
Yeah, see, that's right there is where I'm coming with Gorilla Grodd.
Yep, I think that would be really fun. I like both of yours, and I hope in an ideal situation we get all of them.
Yeah, and more.
Yeah.
And a few more.
Give me... Actually, I kind of want to see Bane, but we can talk about... Honestly, I think we should talk about more about this, but on our later
Yeah.
podcast. More leading into another DC movie or Justice League.
So,
No, it just Deathstroke's facial hair kind of pissed me off a little bit.
Why?
It looked like they just glued it on.
I didn't pay that much attention to it. Like I said, I'm not a looks guy.
I noticed it right away.
Oh,
It
yeah.
looked like it was just the thinnest white facial hair, and they glued it on. It looked stupid.
To me, he looked exactly like
I
Manu
really
Bennett.
like the interpretation in Arrow.
he did.
I thought he looked very much like Manu Bennett. I didn't find they looked very different at all.
It's just the facial hair took me out of it.
Maybe,
That's
I don't
fair.
know. I didn't pay much attention to it. Maybe next time I watch the movie, I'll look for details like that, because I usually don't.
So, do you guys want to give us a rating?
Sure. Clayton.
Are we done chatting?
Is there anything else you wanted to
Actually,
say?
what are favorite moments from you guys? I already said mine, like when Flash was like, "Oh fuck, he sees me."
Oh fucking hell. My favorite moment, probably the Green Lantern reveal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I really enjoyed that. It goes along with the universe building that I really enjoy. I think that was probably my favorite moment of the movie.
Shit. I'm gonna say Batman and Superman's first encounter.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as Superman saw Batman in the distance and everything that happened until Superman left and Batman was like, I'm definitely bleeding. That whole entire 2 minutes or whatever, like I was on the edge of my seat and couldn't have been more satisfied with that back and forth.
I also really liked Superman just having his way with Steppenwolf. I thought that was really fun. And then like he went and saved people too, and then he just came back and proceeded to beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
That just fired me up.
By themselves, Steppenwolf can't take down Superman. No. That's why they're gonna need Darkseid. If he could, they wouldn't need Darkseid. So I'm excited to see. I'm excited for the physical match that's
also
gonna
name drop Darkseid.
Yeah, like
did.
He did, yeah. No, Darkseid is definitely obviously definitely in the universe, but yeah, he's been name dropped. Hail Darkseid.
So now one last thing before we go into the ratings. I saw on Twitter today that we shouldn't get overly excited because end credit scenes aren't promises, and then it was a picture of Sinestro.
No, what? Really?
I feel like you're not taking the same thing that I took from
What
that.
did you take from that?
Sorry,
That the next movie would be
for a
Legion
second.
of Doom?
No, that we might not necessarily get the Legion of Doom. So like, we just shouldn't get too excited.
I
mean, he did say we should form a league of our own.
Okay, whether they call it Legion of Doom or not, I always be calling that because that's what it's in the comics,
Yeah.
I believe. But I think they're definitely gonna have a team up. I don't think it makes sense now not to. Like, I'm not saying everything has to go exactly as people predicted out of the end credit scene, but to just have Lex Luthor end the movie basically saying that and then nothing ever comes of it would just be dumb.
We do still have Flashpoint, which is a crazy wild card in the universe. So
I
like,
guess,
yeah, that's true.
I hope we get it, but I'm just saying let's not get our hopes too high.
It would be retarded if they did. It would be dumb if they didn't. I'm sorry. I am 100% confident they're gonna do it because it wouldn't make any sense if they didn't.
Yeah. So
And
As
Sinestro's
of
cool.
right now, I'm predicting the next Justice League movie is going to be like a Legion of Doom or Injustice League, and the one after that's going to be Darkseid.
yeah, I think so. I think it'll be a 3-movie thing.
I'd be super down for that. I can't wait to see Superman and Darkseid go at each other. Full out.
I can't wait to watch Batman dodge the Omega beams and then see fucking Darkseid's face.
Yeah. I just remembered something. You guys were mentioning earlier how there's a possibility Batfleck leaves the role.
Mm-hmm.
I actually read yesterday and today, both days, that Matt Reeves said that if Ben Affleck weren't in the movie, Jake Gyllenhaal was his first pick as the new Batman.
You okay with that?
I read that as well.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. I mean, I haven't... As long as he's halfway similar to Ben Affleck, I'll be satisfied. But, like, I mean, I'm done judging superhero actors before I see them. Because every single time I've done it, I've been wildly wrong. So
Now, how do you think they do that? Would he be Bruce Wayne? Like, would they just, like, retcon
I think so.
Ben
Yeah.
Affleck?
I think
Yeah.
so. I mean, what else are you going to do?
I think it would just be just straight up Edward Norton, Mark Ruffalo recast.
I was going
My
to go...
two
Black Terrence
thoughts right off the bat about that is I think Jake Gyllenhaal is a little bit too whimsy for the Batman we're getting. In saying that, I have every faith in him as an actor, and I really believe in his ability to like execute a role.
Yeah.
So I think that would be a good person to kind of take the reins, I guess.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know. I want Ben Affleck to stay because I really like him. But if he doesn't want to be there, then he's not going to bring the quality of work I'm looking for in my movie universe. So if he really doesn't want to be there, then I will definitely keep my I'll keep my opinion open until I see whoever else comes, whether it be Jake Gyllenhaal or someone else, until I see it. But yeah.
One other complaint I'm going to throw out there, because I've been reading on it online, and I didn't really process it at the time of watching the movie, but the Amazons have downgraded to bikinis for armor, and I think that's bullshit.
They wore the same shit they did in the last movie.
No, they did not.
I didn't notice the
Look,
difference.
look it up. They're literally wearing bras and like armored bras and panties. Like they're in the last movie, they were wearing like full like armor, minus like the lower legs. But in this movie, they straight up were wearing crop tops, and like it was hypersexualized. I was not a fan of that after recognizing it.
Something did seem different, and that's probably it. We'll have to see the movie again.
It was probably the aggressive abs in everyone's eyes.
I don't know, maybe, I guess I'll look for it next time,
Yeah.
but, I mean, I'm
Yeah,
okay. I'm
I
okay with it either
didn't
way.
notice it at the time of watching the movie, but then I saw a post. I'll send it to you guys. Like, obviously, like we're not gonna have it for the podcast, but yeah, no, it's like fucking stupid. But I mean, I guess they changed with the times because back then they covered up, and now women are hypersexualized. But yeah, no. Anyways, that's a complaint that I've been reading online, and I agree, and I think it's grounded, and I just wanted to address that. But yeah,
I don't mind it. I'm okay with seeing hot women in cool looking armor.
I mean, they're a warrior race, and I don't think wearing bikinis is exactly efficient when it comes to fighting foes. But yeah, no, like I mean, their scene's very cool, badass, but that's just a complaint of mine.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fair enough. Teach their own. Teach their own.
So, ratings, or does anyone have any last closing remarks?
I'll let it go.
Thank you.
Eric's got homework to do, so I'll
I
let
have
it go.
so much shit to do. I really shouldn't have recorded this today.
Alright, so
Well,
ratings it
it's
is?
done now.
Yup. And by it's done, you mean my grades are slipping. And by slipping, I mean they're fucked.
Fuck it.
So, Andrew, go first, because I said so and I'm
I
in
don't want
charge.
to go first.
Oh, fuck. He went up me. Clayton, go first.
Okay. I wasn't prepared for this.
Me neither. I've been trying to think about it the last couple minutes you guys been talking, and I'm very
Conflicted?
yeah. I don't know what to go with.
Okay. I'm gonna give it 14 Green Lantern rings flying off fingers.
Fucking bastard.
Are you gonna use that?
Yes.
I
Damn
should
it.
have went first.
I should have. I'm gonna give it.
Looking at the poster on the wall of
Yes, I
Justice League?
am. I'm gonna give it 13 penitents.
Penance. I figured someone was gonna go there.
Yeah. Andrew?
How many members of the Justice League are there?
5,
6.
6.
6 total.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it 5 people that bleed.
And then there's a cyborg.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sticking through this rambled conversation we had. If you want to contact the show or follow the show or do any of those fun things, we're at the Mediocre Co. on Twitter. We're at the Mediocre Co. at Outlook.com. Thank you for stopping by and joining in.
And hail Darkseid.
Hail Darkseid and lower your expectations.
Hail Darkseid.
Bye. You guys don't want to say goodbye or anything?
Oh yeah, that too. Bye. Thanks for listening. I panicked.